welcome again. My name is Vivian Pigott, Beauty Guide with Lime Life by Alcone, and welcome to my Christmas cookie kitchen. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm making some Christmas cookies. I'm also making dinner for tomorrow. See that right there? That is ham and bean soup. You want to see the ham and bean soup? I'm just gonna. I don't have my phone. Here, let's do this. I don't have it in the holder yet. So here, look. Making ham and bean soup. Oh yeah. My favorite way to have that was with sugar sprinkled on top. Oh, so good. I don't like it otherwise. That's how to have sugar sprinkled on top. Over here we have, look, the finished oatmeal cookies. I placed them on this platter to take them to the nursing home tomorrow for all the workers at the nursing home where my dad is. Oatmeal raisin cookies. And then in the middle, I'm going to put the sugar cookies. So here is our sugar cookie dough that's been in the refrigerator for 2 hours. Here is my rolling pin. This one's a marble one. I like this because it's you don't have to push hard with it. It's weighted. Then I have my green and red colored sugar, and then I have some cookie cutters. I have all kind of cookie cutters, and my little Santa light. Isn't he cute? I have all kind of cookie cutters. I'm just going to use these because they're kind of small. I kind of like them small because that way you don't have to have big gigantic cookies. Sometimes smaller cookies are nice because not everybody wants a big cookie. That way, if you want a big cookie, you just have 2. And if you want a small cookie, you can just have 1. So I've got those ready. And I have this here, and I have my countertop ready. So I'm going to put this phone. I'm going to put this in my holder. And I'm going to roll out these cookies and make these cookies. Christmas sugar cookies. Let me put that down a little bit lower. I just got to put this in my holder. For the nursing home. Oops, don't do that. I'm trying to get some light on the subject here. There we go. Somewhat got light on the subject. Okay. I may turn down. I've got on my my noisy vent over here. I may turn that down for now. Let's turn on some more light. Oh, that might help a little bit. Okay, so what I do with this cookie dough, see how it's nice and it's not squishy and flexible anymore. You want it chilled because otherwise if it's warm, it sticks to your hands. It sticks to everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down. You can probably actually leave it on this plastic wrap and roll it. I've done that before too. But what I'm going to do, now if you're rolling out pie dough, you put flour on the surface. See my cookie? I'm going to eat that later. I'm on a diet, so I'm allowed 2 cookies. I've allowed myself 2 cookies. It's my choice. I've eaten one. This one's for later. I'm saving him. So I'm going to put him somewhere. Where am I going to put this cookie? I'm going to put him right there. Hopefully I don't forget where I put him, or I'll be on even more of a diet. So what I'm going to do, normally you would sprinkle flour. Oh, thank you so much. I taste tested one. Have to make sure they're not poison. Taste tested one is pretty good. They're pretty good. I hope they like them. The workers at the nursing home will like them. So instead of putting flour when it's cookies, put powdered sugar. So that way they don't just get more flour. They can have some sugar. So I'll put that down. Powdered sugar. Making a mess. Yep, making a mess. Take my dough. See, nice and firm and cool. Put that on there. Turn it over, get some more on there. Okay, got enough on the counter. Take my rolling pin, dust that a little bit. It's hard to get stuff on here when it's not wet because it doesn't stick to marble. I like this marble one because it's heavy, so you don't have to. It doesn't take a lot of muscle. It's weighted, and it's also cold. Marble is really cold. I got this, actually I've had this for like 30 years. I got it as a gift, a wedding gift. But it's keeps the dough from heating up because you want the dough to be cold. So this nice cold marble is really great for this cookie dough. Now I have a terrible tendency. It's cracking a little bit because it's actually a little cold. If it wasn't as cold, it wouldn't crack like that. But I'm looking for a spatula here. I'm actually going to use that one. Let's use that one. I have a terrible tendency to roll this out too thin. It's still okay if it's thin, but supposed to be a little thicker than I always roll it out thinner than what it's supposed to be. Let's see, does it say? It says you're supposed to be 3/16 of an inch. That's bigger than 1/8 of an inch, not quite 1/4 of an inch. So that's always a guess anyway. It's just a little chilly. And this is only half the recipe because I wanted more of the oatmeal cookies. And so that's what I did. Try to get it even here. Now we're getting it a little bit. If it cracks like this, you know, it doesn't matter. Because I'm going to cut it out anyway. I got to move this right here. Got to move all this. I got almost all this stuff's in the way. There we go. I didn't think I'd need that much room, but you know, it just kind of keeps growing. See right there, it's cracking all right there. So it's just too cold. So let's let it sit there a minute and it'll start warming up. It gets warm really fast. So if it gets too warm and sticky, you just got to put it back in the refrigerator. So it really does work well if you make the whole recipe to just use like half your dough to start with. Take half your dough, roll those out. That way the other can stay chilled. Otherwise, especially if you're in Florida like me and it's like 77 degrees, which is really not that hot, but it's too hot for cookie dough. Then, you know, it just sits out and gets warm. Doesn't sit out and stay cool. Not here. If you're somewhere it's cold, you might can leave it out and it'll stay cool. But, you know, stuff doesn't stay cool in Florida unless it's 40 degrees. Do you know we don't, except when it's that cold, we don't even really have cold tap water. We have lukewarm tap water. Sometimes the tap water is warmer than your skin. We just don't get cold tap water here unless it freezes. Okay, so then I'm going to take a little of this sugar sitting over here, and I'm going to dip my little cookie cutter in here and just pick a spot and make you a cookie. Then I'm going to go over here. I have my cookie sheet. I'm going to spray that a little bit with my spray, my giant cookie sheet. Doesn't need a lot of spray. And then I'm going to pick up this cookie. He's so cute. It's probably too thin, but that's okay. It just makes it a crumbly, soft, crumbly cookie. See, it's got a little powdered sugar on the back. That won't matter. And my little star. Now let's put him down on the cookie sheet. Okay, let's go to another. Get that over there in the sugar. Can you even see that? That's probably off camera. Let's see. Okay, you can see it now. Dip it in the sugar. Kind of try to go close to where you were before. Oh, that one comes up easy. This doesn't stick as bad as making noodles or something. Put the little Christmas tree. I love this one, candy cane. Candy canes are harder to make. They have a tendency to want to break at the cane part of the curve. But they're so cute. It can be hard to get that out of there. Now let's try that again. It did not go all the way through. I'll push it in the middle there. There we go. Now let's pull it off while it's still in there. Let go. There he is. Candy cane, or J for Jesus. Just what that candy cane's supposed to be. So let's take the little snowman. Aw. These are cute little ones I got. These somebody gave to me a few years ago. I do believe that's what these were. I've got so many now. I think these were some somebody gave to me. Now, if you want to make this quicker, see, I love these because they're so little. Because, you know, when you cook these cookies, they're going to expand. But if you want to make this a lot easier, instead of rolling this out, roll it into a tube. You can just, you don't even have to roll it at all. Put it in the plastic wrap, and, you know, you can curve it until it becomes like a long tube, like you buy in the store. You know how you buy sugar cookies in the store and they're in that long tube? You can do that yourself. Chill it for the 2 or 3 hours. And then, because it'd be thicker, I would say you probably need the 3 hours. And then you can just take a knife and slice them, just like you do those cookies. So you can do that with this too. And they would all just be round, which is fine. You can just say they're Christmas ornaments. So that is a little easier. I got one more over here. He's a reindeer. He's going to be tricky because he's got little parts. Okay, here we go. Little Mr. Reindeer. But he's really cute. He's wanting to stick. It's hard to keep the legs on these reindeer. I think I have used these cookie cutters before. All right, reindeer, give me your leg here. Give me your leg. There he is, little tiny reindeer. Okay, lay down. There you go. Okay, so let's go back again to the star. This doesn't look like it's a whole lot till you start doing this. And you say, oh, this really does kind of make a lot of cookies. Little star. Little star's probably the biggest one. And then that's all we do is just keep making these cookies. Kids love to do this. I loved to do this when I was a kid. Cut out all these cookies. That was so much easier for Mom. She would make this cookie dough and roll it out and give us the cookie cutters and say, have fun, kids, here you go. And we'd make all these cookies and Mom could rest. I don't get to do that because I wasn't given any kids, so I just have to do it all myself. Luckily, I do like to bake. I would have loved to have been able to do that, but wasn't given to me. I did it with my nieces and did things with my nieces and nephews. But that's just not the same. But at least I got somebody to do it. They're all practically grown now, though. And don't know that they're wanting to make cookies. Let's see. Then we'll go to the little bell. But I still like it. I like eating the cookies. Of course, if I make the cookies, they'll all eat them. If I bring them to Christmas, they'll be like, oh yeah, we'll eat those cookies. Cute little bell. I love bells at Christmas. I love bells. Okay, now comes the tricky little reindeer. Let's put him over here. Got that little piece in there. Let's get that out. It's just real small in there. There, that'll actually work better if it lets go. There he is. He's a little tiny thing. Okay, now we're back to the star. I have a lot more of these, and like I said, some of them that I have, they're a lot bigger. But I like the smaller cookies, so this to me is perfect. Just perfect. I got little bits of dough all over the place here. Uh-oh. I kind of have a mutilated star now. Oh, dear. He will taste the same. Here, I'll just put him back together. Oh, I fixed him. Okay, so then we had the little Christmas tree. Christmas tree is pretty easy to do. You get all these little bits here. Put all of those together. These cookies, these sugar cookies have also a little almond extract in them. So they're going to taste a little tiny bit like almond. It's not real strong. Little tiny bit. It's real good. Okay. A little candy cane. Let's see how much time do I have left. We've got 45 minutes for that ham and bean soup to finish cooking. I usually like to make that just when it's cooler. It's not really that cold right now, but it's a little cooler. A little bit cooler. Mr. Snowman. But you can also even buy the cookie dough already made in the store and do this. Just gotta roll it out. But this is so much better. Homemade is so much better. That's got preservatives and stuff probably in it. I don't know. But I just think this is better. Plus, I don't think they put almond extract in it. But I do. Sometimes I don't put that in, but I didn't used to. But it really is good. So I've gotten where I put that in there. Oh, I haven't been reading it. I can't say. What's it say? Oh, I got the cooking gene from Grandma. Yeah, I did. I also got the dark circles from under my eyes from Grandma. I also got the really thin hair from Grandma. I got my obsessive love of shoes from Grandma. I got a lot from Grandma. Okay, let's see. Little reindeer. Dad told me that Grandma used to, you know, she had 7 kids, so she did a lot of cooking, but she also did a lot of, you know, she wouldn't waste anything, which I think most people in that day didn't, especially in the 40s and stuff when she'd have been cooking for her kids. You didn't waste stuff in wartime. You might not get any more. But he said she used to make a pie crust, you know, when she'd make a pie crust. And then the little scraps like this that she'd have over, she would roll that out and she would sprinkle it with cinnamon and sugar and bake it, and they'd have cookies. And he said it was really good. Pie crust with cinnamon and sugar sprinkled, because she wasn't going to throw that away. All those kids to feed, she wasn't going to just throw away that extra scraps. Oh no. She'd make cinnamon and sugar sprinkled sort of cookies. He said they were real good. And, you know, when they'd come home from school or whatever, she'd have all that out. He said they loved them. He said they didn't know or care that it was just leftover pie crust scraps. I actually tried it one time too, because I thought, well, I wonder if that's any good. Sounds interesting. I tried it one time. It's not too bad. It's not real sweet. So if you want a real, unless you'd have to really put some sugar on it, because pie crust isn't sweet. So it's not real sweet, but it wasn't too bad. Pie crust with cinnamon and sugar on it. It's a little hard to get it to stick. Back to, I'm trying to I'm a little obsessive with doing it same order. You don't have to do that. But that way I know I get an even amount of all of them. And then we get to clean up this mess I'm making. So one thing about doing this, it's messy. And I don't have anybody here to help me clean up this mess either. No help cleaning the mess. Oh well. Okay, wherever I add after star comes the Christmas tree. Let's put it here in the middle. I like it, kind of like it when it comes up with these, because these are easy to push them out because they're so hollow. If it picks it up, it makes it kind of easier. These cut pretty well for plastic. I have a lot of those old-fashioned aluminum ones too. Some that were found like in antique stores. I love those. I love antiques. Hello, kitty cat. Kitty cat's sneaking behind me, seeing what I'm doing. They don't usually get to be in the kitchen, so unless I'm in here, I can watch them and make sure I know what they're doing. Make sure they're not getting up on stuff. Well, I don't want no cats on the kitchen counter. I saw her, so she turned around and ran. Like, oh no, she caught me. Normally, I keep the kitchen blocked off. No cats. Okay, here we go. Tray number 1. I've got 375. The oven's on 375 for this one. How pretty is that? Oh, yeah. Well, let's go ahead. I'm just going to kind of set that on top of this stuff because I'm not done with the dough. But let's sprinkle some sugar on these. This is the first time I've gotten one of these in this plastic bottle thing like this. It used to be in a long, skinny one. I'm going to try to push that in a little bit. Otherwise, they just all fall off. Oh, it's sliding. Oh, it makes a little bit of a mess, too. Getting the sugar all over the tray. There we go. I love these cookies. They're so good. Put all this sugar on them. Then you have little bits of sugar all over the place. They sure are good, though. Especially these homemade ones. This was from a cookbook my mom had. Betty Crocker cookbook she got in the 60s when she first married. And she gave that to me. It's fallen apart, but I have all the pages. I also have my former mother-in-law's cookbook from the 40s. And I also have one my grandmother, now that's my mom's mother. She got a cookbook one time. And it's dated in, I think it's dated either the late 20s. And she said it was a gift one time when she opened a bank account. She got that little cookbook. And it's quite an interesting read. Oh, it runs in the Waldron family. I can believe it. I must have inherited a lot of Waldron traits then. I'd love to meet the Waldrons. I don't know that I know any others. It'd be interesting to find people you have stuff in common with because of family traits. I got off my thing here. I don't know how I did that. That's okay. It's like I went bell, deer, wait a minute. How did I do that? Nobody will know. Nobody but me. There's all the red ones. Now let's do the green. I really only know the family that I have here where I live, mostly, because I hardly ever go anywhere. Now that I'm alone, I don't want to travel alone. I need a person I can go where and do stuff with. I never was much of a traveler, though. It's too miserable. I like to be, I'm such a homebody. I just want to be home. Unless I go to Disney World, I do like that, but I hate the trip there. It's about 3.5 hours, a little over 3 hours. Then you got to go home. Wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have to turn around and go back. You can do any colors you want, of course. Of course, I like the red and green Christmas. Now, my oven is on 375, and this recipe's a little hotter than the other cookies are only 350. But this one does 375, and it's 7 to 8 minutes. So it's a shorter bake, a little hotter temperature. And also because I still have this layered air pan with, you know, the 2 layers of metal, they don't burn. You'll never burn cookies again if you get, as long as you don't leave them in too long. Into my oven, set it for, let's check it as 7 minutes. And then we will move on with the rest of our cookies. Okay, here we go. Go back to this one. Do this little cookie. Then we're going to take all our scraps and do a little more. This star doesn't like to stay together. It's getting a little soft. That's the issue. My dough is getting a little soft. You know what I did not do? I did not spray that pan. Let's try that again. All right, there we go. That only needs a light coat. They usually don't stick real bad. Here's my little star. There we go. I knew most of my grandmother's siblings too. I think there were 2 or 3 I never met. I know there was one that, it must have been a stillbirth because I noticed in the history sites they didn't name him. It says baby boy. And then another one died at about 6. Of course, I never met him. And the other 10 children lived. But there were 2 or 3 I never met. Either they just didn't live here, or I think there might have been one that died when I was, either before I was born or when I was real little. Is that where I'm at? Yeah, that's where I'm at. But I knew like Uncle Luke and Uncle Carl, Aunt Emmy. Aunt Emmy and Grandma were together a lot. And Aunt Catherine too. There was only 3 girls. And Aunt Emmy and Annie and Catherine, they all, when they were older, they all lived practically across 2 streets from each other. You went across one street and Aunt Emmy was there, and you went across the street behind that and Aunt Catherine was there. For a long time. Aunt Catherine eventually, I think, moved. I think she might have gone back to Georgia or something where her sons were. But she lived there for years. And then Aunt Emmy built a house there too. So they could just walk across the streets all the time, those 3 sisters. And they were very close. And they would visit with each other all the time. Oh, man. He's amputated. Alright, let me put that leg back on this poor little deer. Hopefully it'll stay. Oh, little deer. Okay, there we go. Told you they lose their legs. They're so tiny they don't stay on very well. Okay, I want to try to speed this up a little bit because this is getting warm. But Uncle Luke, and I remember Uncle Bill too. Uncle Bill and Uncle Luke went to the same church, so they were there all the time. They never missed. Never missed. Of course, I knew Aunt Liza, who Uncle Bill was married to, and I knew Aunt Pearl, who Uncle Luke was married to, and Aunt Faye, who Uncle Carl was married to. We usually only saw Carl and Faye about once a year. We'd see them at camp meeting, because we'd go to camp meeting at Waimama for the church, and they would always come to camp meeting, and so we'd see them there. But I know there was an Uncle Fred. I don't think I ever met him. I never met Uncle Noah. I never met let's see, who else was there I never met? I don't remember his name now. It was another uncle I never met. All right, where am I at here? Tree, I am at candy cane. Now, by the time I'm done with this, it will probably be time to take that first batch of cookies out because these don't cook very long. The other cookies, I had to just put them in, and you couldn't watch that because it'd take too long. Yeah, this is real soft now. I can probably still work with it. Now, this will pick up a little of this sugar, but it's okay. It'll be a little drier. It really isn't going to matter. Now, let's put some of this sugar here. Do that. Roll it out. Yeah, I have some of my grandmother's recipes, several of them. I love making that stuff. It's so good, like her cornbread, her skillet cornbread. Yeah, see, it's getting real soft. Skillet cornbread, and I tried sort of making her dumplings, but she didn't have an actual recipe for that. And you just can't duplicate those. You just couldn't. Nobody's been able to. Need some good chicken and dumplings recipe. I could make it if I knew the proportions of the ingredients. I know what she put in it, just not exactly sure how much. Now look how much of that we had left. That's quite a bit. Quite a bit of dough. Quite a bit of real soft dough. Alright, bell. Yeah, Grandma, she loved it that I liked to cook too. A lot of stuff I had in common with her. I also really loved going to church and being in church. That meant a lot to her. It's really quite interesting because all 7 of her kids, she had one of the 7. Oh, it's beeping. One of the 7 that stayed with church, and the other 6, nope, they did not. They all left. They still weren't going to church at all. And when some of us grandkids were born, I think I was like the 4th grandchild, and the oldest one was only a year and a half older than me. So there were like a whole bunch of us born quickly in the first year and a half. There were 4 of us born, and she would take me and one of my cousins. She'd start taking us to church. She did that a couple times. She'd tell us to come spend the night on Saturday and bring a church dress. And then one of my aunts started taking me to church, and I actually became a Christian when I was 9. And my parents weren't even going to church and weren't really serving God. And my dad always believed in God. But if Grandma hadn't have done that, I'm not sure there would be a person in church in our family except the one youngest daughter. Let's see what we got going on here. Because all of us kids started going and telling our mom and dads to come. You better come to church. See what we're doing there. Oh, look at this. Oh, so pretty. And hot. I'm going to let it sit here for a minute. That's very hot. Went right through the pad. Star Christmas tree. But I look back at that and realize how amazing just inviting her granddaughter to church, how that affected everybody. It's affected everybody in the family. I'm going to take, because most of the people are going to church are serving God nowadays, and they were not. I'm going to take this dough that I'm making scraps, and I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator real quick. So, because it's getting real soft, and I would like to roll it out a little bit one more time. I don't like to waste a drop. What are we going to do that for? That's a perfectly good cookie. Even if it looks a little funky, that's okay. I cook every bit of it. Went all this trouble to make this dough. You better believe I'm going to cook the last bit. Here we go. All right, what we got after the snowman? The bell. I love the bell. Love Christmas bells. And songs about bells. There was a song. My mom had these Christmas records. She had like Connie Francis and what's the other girl's name? Teresa Brewer, maybe? She had these Christmas albums with them, and I'd listen to them as a kid because that's all we had. I didn't care they were old. Matter of fact, I loved old things, so I probably liked it better because it was old. I was not a usual child or teenager. I liked old-fashioned things, always did. And I would listen to those songs, and there was one, I think it was might have been the Connie Francis album, had a song on there called Little Blue Bell. And it was a song, it was kind of sad, but it had a happy ending. Oh, I loved that song when I was a kid. It's about this little blue bell that was so sad. Hi, Karen. It was so sad that he couldn't sing. He couldn't ring, rather. He was a bell. He couldn't ring, and he was so sad. Oh, yeah, Jason, you know those Aunt Amy and Uncle Luke? Yep. We all grew up knowing them because they were around all the time. I'm not looking at the phone every second, but I'll check it. If you're saying something, I'll try to catch it. It's kind of upside down, so I'm having to go like this and read it. Well, that's okay. Aunt Emmy, I think, was about 7, 8 years older than Grandma, something like that. Aunt Catherine, I believe, was younger than Grandma. Uncle Luke was younger than Grandma. Uncle Carl was the baby of the whole family. He was the youngest. Okay, this little ring here has him a little added growth here between his neck. Let's see if I can get that out. What was I saying before? I've lost it now. But I'm putting my scraps back in the refrigerator real quick. Almost done. We can only do a few more here. I lost my train of thought because I'm thinking about these cookies. Okay, put this in the refrigerator real quick. Just get it a little bit more chilly. Got this little star. Put it on here. Okay, I filled up another one. I think I may try to put the rest on here because otherwise I'm gonna have to cook like 3 cookies by themselves because it's not very much left, and I'm not gonna cook a whole tray of 3 cookies. Okay, so there we go. That's all I got left right there. My phone is singing to itself. Uh-oh. Don't stick. No, bad. Stop it. Back up there. I'm running out of sugar here. I should put some more on. There we go. It always ends up being so much more than what you thought it was. Okay, so after the star, we're going to do a little cookie tree. That's what I'm looking for right there. It's a snowman. It's going to be more than 3 cookies. That's okay. Ah! He's escaping. Get back over there. The little bell. We are almost there. And I'm going to take those cookies off that tray in a minute. Oh, there he is. See if we can keep his legs. Come on, there he goes. Like real delicate little dough. This is. I remember Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill was one of the older kids of Grandma's siblings. He always had like double mint gum in his pocket. Always. Hi, Jane. Always had that, and kids loved it. Well, it would have been his great niece and nephews. And we would go to Uncle Bill and get a stick of gum every church service. But he loved it. And he always kept that gum. He chewed it himself, but he always kept that knowing the kids would come looking for it. We loved doing that. Sadly, he didn't get to have any children. So he loved everybody else's, I guess. It's the only option you have, really. Okay, let's put that little tree there. I'm finding a way to fit them in. See, now, let's see. I wonder if it's too fat to do that. Let's roll it out one more time. You can just do it with your hand when you get down to here. Let's do a little snowman. Now you say, what are you going to do with that dough? What are you going to do with that? Watch. Can still make it work. Told you I'm going to use the last drop. It's probably going to be too fat. Let's see. It's also going to have my fingerprints all over it. But there. It's a little star, sort of. Looks like a star with a skirt right now. Well, he's a little shad. I don't know about that. Let's try it again. Look, a little deformed. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take that and give that to somebody, you know. What happened to that? Okay, let's push it in there. Now this time I'm not going to play with it. If I can get it out. Come on, let loose. Let loose. Okay, that's not bad. So let's put him on there. Okay, here we go. Right on top of our mess. Let's make some pretty cookies with the sugar. Then I'm going to put that in the oven. Only took 7 minutes. I'm a little off center here. That's okay. 7 minutes. I'm just kind of speeding this up here because what time is it anyway? 8:35. Well, it's not that late. It seems so late ever since the time changed. And I think it's 10 o'clock at night. Not 10 o'clock at night. 8:30. Just feels late. Okay, let's do the red. And you can, sometimes I used to mix these too. I gotta press that in a little bit. It stays better. Otherwise you'll be done with the cookie and it just falls all off when you pick it up. I like to press the sugar in a little bit. And it actually will stay on the cookie a little better. Otherwise, you just get it on the plate. Oh, it's red. It wouldn't matter though. I got more sugar on the pan for that one than I got on that little reindeer. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, here we go. I like a lot of sugar on the sugar cookies, but it's hard to get a lot to stay because it, doesn't really stick. If we smush it in a little bit, it'll stay. Stay some. Okay, this is our crazy star here. He is a fatter cookie than all the rest. He's probably going to end up being a taste tester cookie. Hey, we gotta have that, right? Gotta have taste tester cookie. Hi, Jenna, if you're still here. There we go. My hands are kind of sticky. There you go. I make more of a mess with this than not, but you kind of don't have a choice, really. It's hard to get it on to just the cookie. So we just have some baked sugar on the tray, too. Okay, here we go into the oven. 7 more minutes. I love these because they're so fast to cook. There we go. Now I'm going to take these cookies. This is actually cool enough for me to even just pick up with my hand now. And I'm going to pick this up. Maybe. Wanting to stick. There we go. Oh, and it's going to crack on me. I probably didn't take these off fast enough. All right, let me get my other little spatula. Where are you? I have like a flexible one over here somewhere. And I've lost it. I don't know where that is. Well, be here somewhere. Not in the sink. Did I put it in the dishwasher? Oh, here it is. I've got it in my strainer. See, he's flexible. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let's see if that'll work better. Yep. Oh, yeah. Come right off. Ooh! It slid right off. So I think we got us another taste tester here. Let's see how it is. It's good. You really don't want to let this sit more than like a minute, or you have this little issue of it's sticking. But I should have done this before, but I didn't. I will with the next batch, I'll tell you that. I think I should have put more spray on it. They really want to crumble. There you go. Snowman's good. Bell works pretty good too. Reindeer is the sacrificial reindeer, I think. Oh, no, look, he's good. He's good. Candy canes are not cooperating. Look, not cooperating at all. Okay, you stay there. It's funny, I don't know how it knows it's something different. The stars don't do too well either. Well, these are going to be cookie pieces. Oh, look, that one came off perfect. Get this bell. This is why you don't leave cookies on the tray longer. This is called the sacrificial tutorial. Don't leave your cookies on the tray long. Yep, he don't want to come loose. Yeah, let's get this started. Candy cane. Well, I think we're about done, seriously. You know what? Broken cookies taste the same as whole cookies. Did you know that? Just as good. So next time, we're going to take that tray out of the oven and we're going to time it for 1 minute. Then we're going to take these cookies off the tray. All right, there we go. So we have 4 more minutes left for the cookies. Look, and I've got dyed hands now, red and green hands. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. So I hope you all have a good evening and make yourself some cookies. Don't leave them on the tray, or you'll have to eat them all. And I hope you have a good night. And until tomorrow, I will come on tomorrow and I will do my makeup in the morning, and then I will do my little ministry live like late afternoon. And I'm doing Christmas songs and stuff right now. So I will do some Christmas songs on the piano and sing and play, and then give you some Bible verses and my thoughts on those. And I'll do that tomorrow. And so you have a good evening and be blessed. And here, let me pull this up real quick so I can see. You can see. There we go. So you have a good night, Karen, and everyone else. I hope you enjoyed our little Christmas cookie baking session. And also the ham and bean soup that I'm making over there. That's for lunch tomorrow. Ham and bean soup. So I'm going to go, and you all have a good night. Bye. Oh, I got sugar all on my finger. I can't even hit this button.